any flaws in the wood that they might have missed during sanding. It's critical that every imperfection be sanded down, otherwise it'll show up as a glaring defect once they stain the wood. After all the parts pass inspection, assembly can begin. First, they remove the tabletop's extension piece called the leaf. They make sure the two main sections fit together perfectly. Then, using a template to ensure the exact positioning, they screw on the runners, the sliding mechanism for extending the table. Then they mount support pieces called stretchers. After marking the position of the apron, workers screw in steel braces to level and align the three sections of the table. This table will have a pedestal base rather than four legs. After installing a part called the assembly plate, they lay down a series of metal templates. These ensure that they mount the apron precisely. Now that they've finished assembling the tabletop, they check its stability and test the mechanics. If everything's up to par, the tabletop moves on to the finishing department. The factory buys wood stain from a supplier. To ensure that the colors are consistent from table to table, the factory tests the stain before using it, comparing it to a color sample. The staining operation takes place in the part of the factory known as the paint kitchen. Each tank has a mixer inside to keep the stain well blended so that the pigments don't settle to the bottom of the tank. This ensures the color will be consistent. There's a separate spray gun for each stain color. After spraying the stain onto the tabletop, a team of workers quickly wipes off the excess. They have just 30 to 90 seconds, otherwise the shade will be off. Another inspection under fluorescent light. Any flaw in the wood they missed before would definitely show up now, thanks to the stain. Every imperfection will be sanded down. Now they spray the table with sealant. This protects against variations in humidity, which would make the wood expand and contract and eventually split. Then they sand the sealant to prepare for a coat of clear lacquer. The lacquer plays two roles, one functional, protecting the wood from scratches, one decorative, giving it a mild sheen. To cure the lacquer, all the table components go into an oven at 150 degrees Celsius. This also strengthens the finish. This factory specializes in personalization. You can choose your stain color or two colors for a two-tone effect. You can also select the shape of your tabletop, the type of edge and apron, and of course, the style of table legs. A diatonic accordion is much smaller than a piano accordion, and it's structurally different. It has 10 buttons, each of which produces two notes. One when you push the bellows in, the other when you pull the bellows out. The diatonic accordion, also called the squeeze box, is a staple of Cajun music. The accordion maker crafts the right-hand keyboard from maple, a hardwood. He saws 10 slots, then drills 10 holes. The keyboard has no keys, actually. It has 10 buttons. They produce the treble notes. Now he turns the keyboard over and hollows out the wood with a router. This creates space for components to move. Each slot in the keyboard will house a rocker, a piece that links each button to its corresponding air valve. Now he builds the wind chest, the box that houses the steel reeds that produce the accordion sound. Moving the bellows in and out forces air through holes in the wind chest. The buttons you push determine which reeds get this air, producing notes. The longer and thicker the reed, the slower it vibrates and the lower the pitch of the note. The shorter and thinner the reed, the faster the vibration and the higher the note. There are 8 reeds per button. Pushing the bellows in activates 4, pulling the bellows out the other 4. Using a hot iron, the accordion maker seals the reed frames with beeswax. This prevents air from escaping. Now back to the keyboard. The accordion maker installs 10 valves made of maple wood. Each one has a plastic rocker on the end. A spring ensures the rocker has just the right tension to open and close the valve properly when the musician presses the button. After staining and varnishing the wood, he glues a button into each hole onto the rocker inside. Pressing a button triggers the rocker underneath to lift the valve and uncover the air hole, letting air hit the designated reeds. The accordion maker now screws the fully assembled keyboard to the wind chest. Now he constructs the left-hand keyboard. He sets the reeds into the left wind chest using a hot iron and beeswax, just like before. The valves in this keyboard are made of pine, a more flexible wood, making them easier to install in this enclosed space. On the outside, a decorative wood inlay, a strip of ebony and some rosewood detailing. The left-hand keyboard has 2 buttons corresponding to 3 reeds each. It produces 2 bass notes and 2 chords. After staining and varnishing the keyboard, he hooks a spring between each valve and the button that operates it. He adjusts the spring tension and checks the air seal. Then he stamps the company name inside. Now he screws the finished keyboard to the finished wind chest.